everybody. This is Nikki, the Van Mystic, and today I am going to be doing an unboxing and walk you guys through these Sacred Geometry cards by Francene Hart. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I use her cards a lot for my screenshot Oracle games. I love working with them, but I didn't actually own her physical deck until today, so I'm super excited. I thought it was way past due. And you can see the box is super big. I think it's because there is a book in here, so hopefully the actual cards are not this large. That would be a fun surprise. I follow a lot of Oracle and Tarot card readers on Instagram, and I actually haven't seen one person using this deck, to my surprise. So I hope you guys see this and fall in love with the deck and Francene's artwork. I own a couple of her art prints, and if you are into these cards, I encourage you to go check out her site because her artwork is so incredible and beautiful. So I'm just gonna spin this camera around and walk you guys through the cards. Okay, so hopefully my rig doesn't fall apart because it's a little bit janky. And I forgot to mention that this is actually the first of 2 decks that Francene has done. She has another deck that I think she came out with after this one. Ooh, it's a little hard to get out. Oh my god. That is kind of an extension of this one. So if I end up loving this in real life, then maybe I'll buy the other one and I'll probably just sort of like mix them together. Okay, so you saw how well that worked. And there is a book on top, a guidebook, Sacred Geometry Cards for the Visionary Path. And let's see, Sacred Geometry, a couple of quotes, big index, probably some explanation on sacred geometry. Yep, what is sacred geometry, etc., etc. So you can kind of read up and educate yourself beforehand. Looks like she has some spreads in here, and then she goes through each card, which is really nice. She has a little description and a photo of the card in black and white, and then she has a very brief sentence on the reversal, which I'm sure you can decide to use or not to use, just like with any other card. So that's really nice. This is a pretty substantial book with nice looking descriptions. So that's that. Let's get to the meat of it. Okay, so the card looks like it's split into 2, and I believe this is 44 cards in this deck. Ooh, I love the artwork on the back. That's so beautiful. Wow. Okay, and right off the bat, the cardstock feels pretty good. I'd say, you know, it's a little thin, but the quality is still good. And the actual finish on the cards, I'd say, is sort of like semi-matte, semi-gloss, which is really nice. I don't usually like it when the cards are too glossy and slick, but I do think like a little bit of shine makes it look a little bit fancier. Cool, so let's just go through these cards together. Let's see, are they in order? Yeah, they're in order already. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to show them to you very simply, one by one. So number 1, we have 1 drop. That's pretty. Okay. God, these are beautiful. I am like a total sucker for symmetry. I really appreciate when people can create asymmetrical art, but I honestly can't. Wow, that's a little bit of a different one. Interesting. Okay. I've got a thing for symmetry, so these cards really speak into me. Flaming Tropicals, beautiful. Healing the Heart. Divine Mother. This is really nice for me too because I've collected as many of the cards as I could find online for myself, but every now and then she has one of these. I'm gonna have to read a little bit more to figure out what those are. They're kind of these like special cards. But you know, it's impossible to find every single card online and all all the kind of written descriptions from the creator, so it's nice to be able to see everything together. Cool. This is one of my favorites. This was actually my desktop background on my laptop for a few years. I love it so much. Ugh, killing me, Francene. Mountain Apis. I love how the borders on every card is a different color. I think it's such a nice mix. Mermaid hearts. What a beautiful and fun and joyful card. Dodecahedron. I love sort of the mix of energy that's kind of all, I mean, it's all tied together with sacred geometry, but there's just sort of this awesome mix of, you know, animal medicine, you know, different cultures and ancient traditions that are incorporated in here. And then, of course, like sort of spiritual and ethereal sort of vibe to kind of spirit world artwork, but it all works together really nicely. It's very dreamlike, this deck. And the last card, receiving. So I'm just actually going to flip open this book if you want to stay tuned and read the message for this last card, so you can have an idea of the descriptions that you might find within this book. So we have number 64, receiving. Readiness, receptivity. This is the final card in Sacred Geometry cards for the Visionary Path. Embedded in the background of this image is stunning geometry that appeared as a crop formation in 2003. The figure is charged with readiness and receptivity. Her outstretched arms and opened hand chakras are expressions of trust, openness, and infinite potential. She is a lightning rod and receptor of universal information and infinite wisdom. DNA spirals appear as pillars or antennas in support of her readiness. This card celebrates the transformation that is taking place in our experience of reality and our willingness to shift from the separation of duality consciousness to the certainty of our connectedness with all that is. Sacred geometry is one way that information and energy are entering consciousness at this time. You are gaining a greater appreciation for and are participating in the evolution of consciousness. As you continue your visionary path, allow your awareness and understanding of sacred geometry to nurture this evolution. Let this card be a signpost of your willingness to become a beacon of hope and a guiding light for those still caught in the old paradigm of separation. Remain receptive to the message you are receiving and give thanks for your conscious participation. And then she has the reverse description. You are reluctant to accept your role in the evolution of consciousness. Ask for guidance and assurance so that you may more fully participate in this important time in the human story. So definitely worth reading some of these messages. I've read a lot of them before, and they all sort of let you know how she incorporated the sacred geometry into the card, and then the deeper meaning behind each card. And the information is just so rich and will really strengthen your connection to these cards. So I hope that was really helpful for you guys to look at all of those. These are really beautiful cards. Like even just laying them out for you, I feel more attached already. So I hope you guys consider checking out these cards or some of Francene's artwork. It's truly beautiful and I think really visionary and high vibes. So alrighty, have a beautiful day.